Welcome to No Smoke TV. Today we have a very special guest, DJ EFN from the Drink Champs. How you feeling today, my brother?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm jealous, a little jealous right now because I see palm trees behind you.
Yeah, don't be too jealous, man. It'd be nice one day. It'd be raining like a motherfucker hurricane style the next day.
Yeah, that's that Florida weather, but at least you got some palm trees. You ain't got to deal with over here in New York.
Oh, yeah. We got the palm trees. It looked nice. It looked nice for now.
But I see you from LA.
Born in LA. Early years in LA. And definitely I still got family out there. I almost go every year to LA.
Nice. Would you say, would you be in the same position you was at if you never moved to Miami?
That's a question that I talk about a lot with friends and family, and I don't know, man. I don't know what would have came, of me in LA. I mean, I lived in an area called Southgate. Anybody knows like Cypress Hill and that whole movement. That's the area that they're from. I don't know, man. I don't know what would have happened to me in LA, to be honest with you. My grandparents lived in Inglewood. They were there during the riots. So I don't know. I really can't call it, but I came to Miami in the 80s. It was the cocaine cowboy days. My dad came out here, Cuban veteran from Vietnam, Marine. He came out here, to live his best life in the cocaine cowboy days, you know what I'm saying? And so Miami was pretty crazy in those days. Growing up here was pretty wild. I saw all kinds of crazy shit. So I just don't know what would have happened, man, but I'm here now, and luckily, and I give my mom props. She raised me by herself, and she did the best she could, man. So I'm here now.
That's what mothers do. That's what my dad was my dad's a Vietnam vet too. So shout out to your dad.
Salute to him, man. Salute to him.
Shout out to your dad too,
man. Yeah.
So I see you was a big fan of like the mixtape era in New York back in the day.
Right.
And you wanted to implement what New York was doing in Miami to give the artists like a spotlight in Miami. Because you was hearing DJ Clue and everybody in New York. You want to do your own thing in Miami, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we have this conversation on Drink Champs a lot where Nori, he's kind of switched it where he's saying, he's joking. He's like, oh, you hating on New York. But what it was is that New York is the mecca of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? The birthplace of hip hop. Anybody that was into hip hop, it was, you looked up to New York, all regions of the country. And the thing is that what we talk about a lot is that the industry was also in New York. So the industry kind of was being gatekeepers and wasn't allowing anything that didn't really sound and look like New York at the time come in. And so, but like for someone like me, just growing up a hip hop kid in Miami, again, like I said, we're looking up to everything New York, but because I come from LA also, I have all these different tastes. I had the West Coast taste. I just liked hip hop, man. So it didn't matter where it came from, as long as it was dope to me. As long as the beats were hitting, as long as the lyrics were there, I didn't care where it came from. But of course, most of our stuff that we really were into was coming out of New York at the time. So the mixtapes was what brought us all the underground shit that we couldn't hear anywhere else. The radio out here didn't play hip hop. We didn't have mix shows. So it was the mixtapes. And then that's what I was like, all right, I saw a lane for me as a DJ that nobody was really tapping into here consistently in Miami. And that's what I took on.
Nice. Did you get a lot of support from the local artists in Miami? From the artists in Miami?
I mean, and this goes for any city, like, the haters are going to be your own city at first. No one's going to really support. And the thing is, we had so many people from New York in Miami that it was even a term like hip hop heads weren't even called hip hop heads. You were called New Yorkers. So if you dressed a certain way and you listened to certain kind of rap music, you were called a New Yorker. So the New Yorkers sort of say, they were always just like, you from Miami, or you doing Miami. Like if you rep Miami, it wasn't cool at the time. And so the goal of myself and my crew was like, we want to bring the same type of vibe, the same consistency that these mixtapes and these crews in New York or anywhere else, for that matter, because Atlanta was popping, the West Coast was popping, but we want to do it repping Miami. So we would always put Miami, like the turn, like we was like repping the city on our sleeve. And in the hip hop scene at the time in Miami, which was actually pretty small, we're talking about early 90s when hip hop heads were hip hop heads, and it was like almost like the goth kids. You had the hip hop kids, like we were a few thousand in the whole city that would see each other at all the events. Like Zulu Nation would throw park jams, or we would go to a Redman show. The first time Redman came here, Biggie, like we'd all see each other. And for the most part, most of these people were repping New York. So they didn't really support anybody really repping Miami at the time.
Got you. So that's what you was there for, and that's what you was doing. Right. And I give you your flowers too, because you got best DJ 2 years in a row, correct?
Well, at the mixtape awards that Justo did, rest in peace to Justo. I got best new mixtape DJ, which is crazy because I had been making mixtapes for almost 10 years at that point.
Yeah,
but you know,
crazy.
but nonetheless, you know, this is in New York. You know, Justo, the mixtape awards was big. So I was, you know, prior to them, I was cracking in, you know, I was getting in. So I was new. So yeah, and it was an honor, man. It was the same year that they gave 50 his award when he was big on doing the mixtapes. So that was a good year. I was at that award. It was mad shit. Something popped off. I remember there was beef at that award. So I mean, it was hip hop. It was some hip hop shit, you know.
I think that was like the Murder Inc. beef back in the day.
I think something popped off at that awards that I don't remember what happened, but I have that award. You know, and it's a hood ass award. I remember Justo gave it to me. It felt like he made it in his crib. You know what I'm saying? But that's my favorite award, and I have it downstairs in my studio here. And then I got best mixtape DJ here in Miami, an award here, and I got a couple awards and plaques over the years for sure.
Nice. You deserve all of them, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I have a question for you that I'm pretty sure you get a lot.
Okay.
Was you in competition back in the day with DJ Khaled? Was y'all in competition?
Yo, it's funny because was it you that just commented on IG asking that?
That wasn't me.
Someone just asked that on IG. So, you know, Khaled came to Miami a few years after I had already started doing my stuff, you know, and he got on the underground because underground radio was what was popping because we didn't have commercial radio. So he was on this radio station called Mix 96, which was really a reggae dancehall Caribbean station. And then he would do like the only hip hop show. And we were so thirsty for hip hop that his show took off pretty quick. And I was doing underground radio as well. Actually, I was on an underground radio station that was in an apartment. These were all in apartment buildings usually. Wow. Our station was literally under his apartment, like the apartment where that station was. And we kind of like were, yeah. So we were kind of like rival stations. Like how it is in commercial radio, how there's rivals. And you know, as young DJs and hip hop, it was competitive, and you know, he was, you know, he had his competition with other DJs, and it was just a thing. And then he was kind of new to the city, so we looked at him kind of like as an outsider in the beginning. And it was just that, man. It was just friendly competition and little things that happened here and there. Like we put out a record, a group of mine, the Alliance, called Fake Out of Towners, right? And it's addressing all the shit that I'm kind of telling you about the New Yorker stuff and this and that. And we asked him to play it, and he had like a make it or break it segment, and he kind of shitted on the record. You know, I don't know if he even remembers this to this day, but we remember it clearly. So he kind of shitted on the record before he let people call in and shit on it after that.
Damn. And you messing it up before people.
Yeah, but I mean, to be quite honest, the record, you know, we were it was like our first record that we recorded, So the joint was super amateur on our part. We're just happy to have vinyl pressed up.
Still, you supposed to push it like it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, to this day it sounds like the best shit in the world to me, but I know in reality it wasn't. And so we kind of caught some feelings over that, and we had some words here and there with him. But over the years, man, to be honest with you, like I really looked at the scene as we need to support each other and not hate on each other. And if someone shines, like push them, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's push them, because that door opening cracks the door open for everybody. And you know, I started to look at it like that really quickly, and you know, and it was never no serious anything with anybody, you know?
Oh, so y'all still cool? Y'all still
yeah, we see each other. Yeah, if you saw him on Drink Champs, we were cool. And the thing is, when you have as much history in a local scene as we do, like, you know, you've seen each other's faces 10 years, 15 years, whatever. We've seen each other from the beginning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to you can't hate after that, you know?
It's respect. It's respect.
Respect, absolutely.
So with all that, what made you start Crazy Hood Productions? And what you think did that bring to the culture at the moment?
I mean, it's everything I've been telling you. Like, it was like my senior year of high school. We were big, you know, me and my crew were just hip hop heads. We were supporting whatever we could locally. There was a couple local artists that, you know, were kind of bubbling, and whatever we could do to support, whether it be show up at a concert, show up at a show, whatever. And I just started thinking, like, what do I want to do? And I was like, man, I really want to pursue music as a career, you know, and I didn't know how, I didn't know what, I didn't have no connections. I'm in a suburb area of Miami called Kendall, which has been getting a lot of shit because A-Rod just said some shit. But you know, I was just like, all right, cool, you know, like I want to do something. So I came up with the name Crazy Hood Productions, which crazy, just to explain it, like, because people misunderstand it, they think it means crazy neighborhood or crazy, like a crazy hood. It was crazy, kind of like the state of mind I was in. And now looking back, it was like mental health stuff, you know, like me just like kind of wilding out mentally. And so that was the crazy in there. And then the hood was, we used to wear hoodies to school. Even though we're in Miami, it was cold as shit in school. And Champion hoodies was like the uniform for a hip hop kid back then.
Facts.
So we would call ourselves hoods and hoodlums, you know, but it really was the hoodie. We were hoods. So that was Crazy Hood. And then production made it sound professional. And the mission statement for us was, yo, let's just do whatever we can to contribute to our local scene and be a part of, you know, propping up Miami's hip hop scene. And that was our mission statement. As
so everything, like you've been saying, everything was, your mission was to put Miami in the forefront.
In the forefront on the map and get respected on the hip hop scene. Yeah.
And much respect to you, because you guys definitely did that.
Appreciate that.
Miami's definitely on the map right now.
For sure.
So enough of that. Let's get into Drink Champs.
Let's do it.
Champ. I wanted to ask you, what was that one interview that wowed you? Because I know you do a lot of celebrities, a lot of people doing different things, but what was that one interview that wowed you?
Man, there's a lot that have wowed me, but I will tell you, in terms of what I think took us over the top and was just like a moment for us, was that first DMX interview. Everything about that first DMX interview, which is in year one, it was probably like our 4th or 5th release, maybe 6 or 7. Like, it was in the first 10 releases for sure. We were already buzzing heavy out the gate with our first episode with Fat Joe. You know, we hit lightning in a bottle. It was something that it seemed like the culture needed, and it hit. But it was that DMX episode that took us over the top, in my opinion. And it was just everything about it, man. Like what happened behind the scenes. DMX didn't know what a podcast was. He didn't understand what we were trying to do. We had to kind of like chase him down at his hotel where he was at. Our equipment broke down. We set up in the lobby of the hotel. We kind of deboed. We told him to turn down the lobby music, and all of a sudden, DMX walks into the lobby, and we're sitting there, and there's people walking in to go to the hotel, and we doing an episode with DMX, and a lot of people like looked at him like he was, you know, on some drugs. But what had happened was our equipment broke down, and we had to like reboot all this shit. So Nori was trying to keep him kind of like busy, and they were just drinking, and they kind of went through a whole bottle of Hennessy together, some shit like that. So when he sat with us, he was tore up on Henny, nothing else that I know of, and I don't think, because at that time he was pretty clean in terms of hard drugs. And so, you know, that episode, you know, if you watch it, it's heart-wrenching. You see, you know, X, you know, he's vulnerable like he always is, but you know, he's also drunk as fuck right there too already. And so it was something special about that episode for its rawness. It was really, really raw episode. And then it took us over the top in terms of what it did for Drink Champs, viewership and listenership and all that.
And I think that might be the biggest interview that X ever did. That's like,
I mean, the second one, well, the third one, because we did a quarantine episode on Zoom with him, which was the second one, and then the most recent one before he passed.
Actually, That's
the
one I'm getting confused. The most recent one, that's the one I'm getting confused with. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, because that one was dope because, like I said, the first time he didn't even know what the fuck we were. He's like, a podcast. He's like, what is this shit? Like, you could tell he really didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then one of the things that went viral from that first one was his prayer. He did a prayer on it, and it went viral.
He's big on that. So.
He's very religious, and I think that over the few years that had passed since then, you know, he obviously understood what a podcast was, and he understood it. He saw that went viral, and it was something kind of positive. So when he sat with us again, and now we're well polished, we're a TV show, we got the cameras, we got the set. He was in good spirits, man. He was clean, and he understood what it was, and he had fun with it. And those are the best episodes, when the guest has fun with Drink Champs, doesn't aren't guarded or thinking that it's it's really, we're there to celebrate and celebrate the guests. And so he had a lot of fun with it, and that was real dope.
Those are the best interviews too, when you're having fun and everything's organically happening and conversations just happening. Those are the best ones.
Yep.
So we was talking about the liquor, DMX drinking the Hennessy before he got there. I wanted to ask you, do y'all buy like a certain supply of liquor every month, or it's like y'all just buy a certain amount before the episode?
I mean, we get supplied. We partners with Ciroc and Duce and Ace of Spades. I
see a lot of Ace of Spade on there.
Yeah, De Leon. But if it's something specific that we like, outside of that, we'll cop it and stuff. Like I'll be drinking. I got a homie out here, the Dominican homie makes Mama Juana. He be making it, and I drink that as my shots now. Like if you look over the years, you'll see we drink different things. Like we'll get into different things. Like Nori, now he's into Habiki, which is a whiskey.
Yeah, I hear him saying that.
Yeah, I used to just drink rum. I was always known as a rum drinker, Bacardi drinker. They used to call me Bacardi man. And so the first few years of Drink Champs, you see me drinking that. Now I'm a beer drinker because I got into craft beer and stuff, but I drink all kinds of beer. And then I drink Mama Juana as my shot of choice. So we buy, and then we'll cop our own stuff in terms of that.
Gotcha. I'm about to say, because after a certain couple of years, man, the liquor start hitting you different. I know you guys go to sleep right after the episode.
100%, man. I mean, Nori's I'm gonna give it to Nori. He'll go out and he'll party for the rest of the night. Now, mind you, I got 2 little kids at the crib, like babies practically. One's still in diapers and one's in preschool, and so like I'm tired from just daddy life. His kids are a little older, so he'll go out and do he'll party and shit, but not me, bro. I gotta go straight home because I gotta wake up no matter what in the morning and handle daddy duties. You know what I'm saying?
Daddy duties is first.
But mind you, regardless of whatever happens and how late Nori, he wakes up at 5 a.m. every day.
Really?
It's that jail shit. Like he'll tell you, it's the jail conditioning that he wakes up no matter what. He'll go to sleep at 4:30 or wake up still at 5 a.m.
Wow, he programmed. That's his program.
Yep.
Nori, when did he go to jail though? That was years ago.
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, I don't really know for sure, but it was before the CNN album. So you're looking at probably like 95, 94, 95, something like that.
He's still programmed?
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. I can imagine how many other people are programmed still. I got some friends that probably still program then.
Yeah, he's still programmed. I mean, he surprises me, man. He'll wake up no matter what. So
do you guys prefer being independent, or you like working with Revolt? You like partnering?
I mean, we're still independent though. That a lot of people, we'll see people comment like, "Oh, Revolt owns you," or "Diddy owns you," or "Diddy controls this." Like, there are partners, but we license the stuff to them. So when you license, you still own it. You know what I'm saying? So we do deals with them that we give them a license for a certain amount of years to exploit the video. Like they have the licensing to the video. We have a deal with iHeart for the audio. And so at the end of the day, all rights revert back to us, and we own the content and we produce the content. So that means nobody's got their hands in the editing. Nobody's got their hands in any of that. It's our own camera guys that have been with us since day one. So we do everything in-house. We deliver. It's licensed. They pay us for the license to be able to exploit that for however many years is in our contract. And then after those years for Revolt, it reverts, all of the rights revert back to us.
Nice. And I respect you guys for that too, because a lot of people in the podcast world, they'll sign their stuff away just to get some light, man. It's good to keep that. It's good to ownership is. I'm trying to tell everybody, ownership is real in this world. That's important.
Yeah, and we own like the different aspects. Like I said, there's the audio, there's the video, there's also like TV is one thing, and then digital, which meaning YouTube, is a whole other thing too. So you gotta do deals for all of that. And then there's IP rights, which is the brand, and then we own that 100%, the IP.
Nice. So what does 2022 hold for DJ EFN?
Man, I mean, Drink Champs is always growing into new directions and creating new deals that I think, we're always looking at what can a podcast do that hasn't done before. I think we were some of the first, if not the first podcast to have deals that are TV deals and YouTube deals and audio deals all at once. And now we're looking at other things. We have other things in the works that are gonna, make an evolution of Drink Champs, like revolutionize what podcasters can do. And so you're going to see a lot of things happen with that. Hopefully, if these deals that we're working on go through, new brand partnerships that we're working on. Nori's, he's in the reality space. He's doing Love and Hip Hop. He did the Marriage Boot Camp. Like, he's heavy in that. He's working. He's got film projects. He's got other things that he's working on. I got film projects. I got a documentary series called Coming Home, and I partnered up with LL and Rock the Bells on that. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see more, like, those have been released on Revolt, but some of the earlier ones that I've done, and we're going to release some of the new ones, partnership with, hopefully, with Revolt and Rock the Bells. I'm kind of exclusive to you on this one, because we're still working out those details. Okay. But and that's something that I've been working on, and and I'm always co-producing and producing other podcasts. I got Fatherhood's podcast, which is basically hip hop fathers talking shop, trying to change the stereotype of the hip hop father. You know what I'm saying? I think we got a bad rap over the years. So we're just talking, about parenting and stuff like that. And we'll have guests like Bum B and Thurston Howell. And we had Angie Martinez talking about being a mother of boys. And we'll have like all these special guests on there. So that's the type of stuff we're working on, man. I
see y'all working on the NFT too. You didn't get on the NFT.
Absolutely. We got the NFT, the culture cards, man. Yeah. So
how's that coming along?
No, that's just dope, man. Shout out to Fred Frenchie, who's our partner in that. He's the one who created the culture cards. And we're going to hopefully, it's basically like trading, like almost like baseball cards in the NFT space for hip hop. And we want to include everybody in hip hop, not just artists, but DJs, executives, producers, engineers, promoters, anybody and everybody that has their hand in the culture, helping to push the culture forward. We're trying to create a card for them. And what's really dope about what we're doing with the cards is that we created a fund that hopefully, not hopefully, it's actually already helping people help fund like things that, if it's medical bills for some of these aging pioneers, or legal fees for some artists that might need legal fees that don't have the money. Like, we're creating this fund that's directed when these transactions happen with the NFTs, go into the fund, and then we all kind of come together as a committee to kind of disperse the funds.
Dope. So basically, that's like your own little fundraiser, basically, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take a lot more than just what we're doing for it to really have a huge impact on the culture. But if we can be an example, and there's can be a couple of different entities that do what we're doing, we could take care of our own, And then also shout out to Chuck D and Curtis Blow. They've actually done something really huge that I don't even know all the details to speak on it, but it's something where they kind of, I think they align themselves with SAG, and they've created like a whole like basically like insurance and like it's this whole thing that they've created. I got to do more research on it to really speak on it. Hopefully we can have them on Drink Champs to talk about it, but they've done something huge that's going to help to take care of people in the culture as well.
Dope, man. And that's all it takes is somebody that want to do it.
Right.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. People don't understand that. Somebody just to have the idea and just push it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I just think it's crazy that we have these aging pioneers that it might, for whatever reason, because it took a while for the industry to catch up with hip hop, for them to be broke. You know what I'm saying? For whatever the reasons are, you know what I'm saying? I just think that the bare necessities should be at least taken care of for any of these people that did so much and are the foundation, and the culture was built on their back, that none of us would be here today making a living if it wasn't for some of these people that were first. And then it also goes for the youth too. Like, I feel like in hip hop culture, it's all about living today and not thinking about tomorrow. We got to educate the youth, these younger MCs and younger artists, and produce, like, listen, man, like, worry about your health, think about how you can invest now. Whatever, if you're getting paper right now, maybe instead of buying 2 gold chains, buy, one, and then the other one, put it in some fund that's going to give you dividends in the future and help you when you're not as active as you are, So these are things to think about.
And nobody thinks like that now. And that's why it's important people like you to pushing that message. So respect.
You got it, man. And you too, brother.
Yeah. I'm always out here pushing a positive message. And that's why I like interviewing people like you, such as yourself, so you could push that message.
It's balanced, man. Like, we all, I mean, we all love the music, and we could all thug it out, and we could talk some gangster shit all day long. But to me, it's like we got to balance it out. And that's what I think is missing in the culture. Like, we had NWA and we had Public Enemy. Those are two of my favorite groups. You know what I'm saying? And to have those two created a balance that we don't really have as much of that balance anymore in today's, culture.
And that's what life's about, balance.
Right. It's balance.
Need for that. All right. And you're not gonna be doing no reality TV with Nori? I ain't gonna see you in Love and Hip Hop?
Nah. I mean, nah. Honestly, I'm not, like, even when he did it now, they were trying to I made some appearances in it, but they were really trying to get me in on it. I'm like, nah.
You're not with the drama?
Nah, I'm not. I mean, I think that Nori is doing it the right way, and like Remy and Pap did it the right way as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a right way of doing it. But it's just not me, man. Like I'm really a behind the scenes dude, and the way that Drink Champs evolved, it just happened to take off the way it did. No one saw it. I didn't see it. Nobody. But at the end of the day, man, I look at myself. I'm a DJ. I'm a marketer. I'm a manager. All these things that I'm a behind the scenes type of person. So I'm not really all about putting myself forward. But I understand it's all branding, and I got to do what I got to do, but yeah, that reality show is not for me.
You know how to ask, but that's about it. Cause I know you got to go, and I really appreciate you stopping by the show, giving a good message, letting us know about you.
Thank you, bro.
Your what you pushing, everything he's pushing for 2022. He's working with LL Cool J, Rock the Bell, so look out for that. Sir. He dropped that exclusive here.
Yes,
so
sir.
Yeah, just look out for DJ EFN. You want to leave any social medias? I'm pretty sure they know it already, but if they don't, you want to leave it so they can.
For sure. Everything at Drink Champs for Drink Champs. You could go to drinkchamps.com for everything Drink Champs, and then crazyhood.com is my company, and it's at crazyhood, or at who's crazy is my IG, at DJ EFN on Twitter.
There you go, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the show again.
Let's go.
Out of here.